Hello, and welcome to House Lux Estate, your go-to place for all things fascinating about the human mind. Here we strive to delve into the depths of psychology, peeling back the layers to reveal the intriguing intricacies of human behavior. From the way we think, feel, and act, to the hidden motivations that drive our actions, we explore it all. Today we are going to unravel the mystery behind a common, yet often misunderstood emotion: boredom. Boredom, a state of mind that everyone experiences, but do we really understand it? Let's take a deep dive into this seemingly mundane emotion that is boredom. Boredom. It's that familiar feeling when time seems to stretch out endlessly before us, when we're caught in an activity that doesn't hold our interest, or when we simply have nothing to do. But what does it really mean to be bored? Believe it or not, boredom is not as simple as it seems. It's a complex emotional state that is deeply interwoven with our human experience. Boredom is universal. It doesn't discriminate. No matter who we are, where we're from, or what we do, we've all been touched by the dull sting of boredom. It's a part of our lives, just like joy, sadness, anger, and excitement. But unlike these emotions, boredom often gets overlooked. We dismiss it as trivial, unimportant. But understanding boredom is crucial. It's more than just a passing feeling. It's a signal, a cue from our brain that something is not right, that something needs to change. So why should we care about understanding boredom? Well, for starters, it's a powerful motivator. When we're bored, we're driven to seek out new experiences, to explore, to learn. It pushes us to step outside our comfort zones and engage with the world in novel ways. But on the flip side, chronic boredom can also lead to negative outcomes like increased risk-taking behavior, decreased motivation, and even mental health issues like depression and anxiety. In essence, boredom is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can be a catalyst for growth and creativity. On the other, it can be a source of distress and dissatisfaction. And despite its universal nature, each of us experiences boredom differently. Our individual perceptions, attitudes, and life circumstances all shape how we interpret and respond to boredom. So, how does boredom emerge, and what happens in our brain when we feel bored? Let's find out. The human brain never stops working, it's always on the go. So, why does it sometimes hit a roadblock called boredom? Boredom, that ubiquitous and often unwelcome guest, is more than just a simple state of mind. It's a complex psychological phenomenon, rooted deep within our mental processes. When we peel back the layers, we find that boredom is often a result of lack of engagement, stimulation, or interest. Imagine the brain as a high-powered sports car. It's designed to be in motion, to be stimulated, but what happens when that car is stuck in traffic, or worse, parked in a garage with no destination in sight? The engine may be running, but there's a palpable sense of frustration, of unfulfilled potential. That's what happens in our minds when we're bored. We're all revved up with nowhere to go. Our brains crave stimulation and engagement. They're wired to explore, to learn, to solve problems. When we're actively engaged in a task, our brains release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that makes us feel good. But when we're understimulated, when there's a lack of novelty or challenge, our dopamine levels drop. This lack of dopamine can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and boredom. Moreover, boredom can also be a result of a lack of interest. Sometimes we're forced into situations or activities that simply don't resonate with us. Our brains recognize this lack of personal relevance and respond with feelings of boredom. Think back to a time when you were stuck in a meeting or a class that didn't engage you. You likely felt bored because the content didn't spark your interest or curiosity. However, boredom isn't always a negative state. It can serve as a signal, a nudge from our brains telling us that we need to change our circumstances, seek out new experiences, or find a way to make our current situation more engaging or meaningful. Boredom isn't just about being idle, it has deep psychological roots. Let's see what research says about it. Boredom isn't as simple as it seems. Researchers have spent years trying to understand this complex emotion. Let's delve into some fascinating studies that have unraveled the intricacies of boredom. In the realm of psychology, boredom has always been an enigma. A study by Eastwood, Frishen, Fensky, and Smilik in 2012 elucidated the definition of boredom as an unfulfilled desire for satisfying activity. This suggests that boredom is not merely an absence of stimulation, but a longing for engagement. Interestingly, boredom isn't always a negative state. A 2014 study by Mann and Cadman found that boredom can spur creativity. Participants who were made to do boring tasks before a creative task produced more diverse and creative ideas. It seems that boredom, in its own peculiar way, can ignite the spark of innovation, yet boredom can also push individuals towards risk-taking behavior. A study by LP Doro in 2018 found that individuals experiencing chronic boredom are more prone to substance abuse and gambling. This shows that boredom can be a driving force for actions that may have dire consequences. Moreover, research has also linked boredom to mental health issues. A study published by Bench and Lench in 2019 suggested that persistent boredom can lead to anxiety, depression, and even self-harm. It's clear that boredom isn't just an inconvenience, it can seriously affect our mental well-being. But what about the brain? Neuroscience reveals that when we're bored, our brain's default mode network, involved in daydreaming and mind-wandering, becomes more active. This was highlighted in a study by Mason and colleagues in 2007. So when you're bored, your brain is far from idle. It's busy exploring its inner landscape. As you can see, boredom can have significant effects on our behavior and well-being. But is there a way to combat it? Let's move on to the next scene to find out how we can overcome boredom and use it to our advantage. Boredom can feel like a trap, but there are ways to break free. Let's dive into some strategies that can help you escape the clutches of boredom. A key strategy is finding new hobbies. This might sound simple, but the process of discovering a new passion can be an adventure in itself. It's about exploring, experimenting, and learning. It's about stepping into the unknown and embracing the thrill of the new. Reading, painting, gardening, coding, birdwatching, baking. The options are endless. And remember, it's not about being perfect at your new hobby. It's about the journey, the learning, and the joy that comes with the process. Another powerful tool to combat boredom is challenging oneself. It's easy to fall into a routine, doing the same things day in and day out, but this lack of novelty can lead to monotony and boredom. So, shake things up. Set new goals, embark on new projects, take up new responsibilities. Pushing your boundaries and stepping out of your comfort zone can keep boredom at bay. Next, let's talk about mindfulness. In a world that's always rushing, we often forget to live in the moment. Practicing mindfulness can help you focus on the here and now, making every moment count. It's about being present, aware, and engaged. It's about appreciating the beauty of the ordinary and finding joy in the mundane. But remember, it's not about filling every moment with activity. It's about finding meaningful engagement, even in stillness. It's about being okay with doing nothing sometimes. Because, as we've discussed earlier, boredom isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be a chance to reflect, to dream, to create. So whether it's finding a new hobby, challenging yourself, or practicing mindfulness, these strategies can help you overcome boredom. But the most important thing to remember is that you are in control. You have the power to transform your boredom into something productive, something creative, something meaningful. Remember, overcoming boredom requires active engagement and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. So there you have it, the psychology of boredom. A complex emotion with profound impacts on our lives. The journey we've taken today has brought us through the valleys of understanding, up the mountains of psychology, and into the vast plains of research. We've explored the nature of boredom, delved into its psychological roots, and analyzed the latest research that seeks to unravel its mysteries. Remember, boredom isn't just a simple, fleeting emotion. It's a psychological state that can have a significant impact on our well-being. It can lead to stress, anxiety, and a host of other negative emotions if not properly understood and managed. But it's not all doom and gloom. Boredom can also be a catalyst for creativity, innovation, and personal growth. It's the spark that can ignite our curiosity, drive us to seek new experiences, and push us out of our comfort zones. With this understanding, we can better navigate the ebbs and flows of boredom, using it as a tool to enrich our lives rather than a weight that drags us down. Embrace the moments of boredom. They're not just empty spaces to be filled, but opportunities for self-discovery and growth. Thank you for joining us on HouseLux Estate. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating insights into the human mind. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.